Andy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're so glad that you can carve out a little bit of time here at GS1 Connect, here down in Orlando. Liz and I haven't been outside yet, so we have no idea if the weather's nice or anything. But Andy, before we jump into a couple of our questions, if you would, just for our audience, just introduce yourself, let everyone know where you work and what you do.
Absolutely. My name's Andy Meadows from Austin, Texas. The company's called BL.INK. I'm the founder and CEO, and we do 2D barcodes and digital resolvers. So short links redirected to landing pages that we also host on our new platform called BL.INK CXP.
So Liz is like, wait, what's going on, Reid?
Don't make fun of me.
She's looking at me like, you're the tech guy.
Stuff.
She's the smart person. I'm just like, I read these other things that we don't, our lives are complementary.
Understood.
For folks that are out there, digital resolvers, I can hear my parents and my sisters right now like, what is that, Reid? What does it work? You're talking about the links that are in QR codes.
Correct.
Right? And they can be webified, and the resolver is the spot where they land?
Resolver is how we get from A to B.
Okay.
So we take the QR code, so that 2D barcode, and when you scan that at the register, it beeps, and that brings up just like your regular 1D barcode. But if you scan it with your phone, then that resolver can resolve that URL to a destination that takes it to someplace new. And that someplace new could be at digital landing page, or in Europe, the digital product passport. So essentially a collection of landing pages that can be any content that really activates the audience.
That's fascinating. And so what I love about this, and QR codes have been around for a long time.
Yes.
A lot longer than most people think. Most people, it came out during COVID.
Right.
Yeah, because it was at every restaurant. But it's endless. You're webifying an interface that is physical.
Correct.
How does it know to be a POS versus a phone?
So it's the exact same URL that's inside the QR code. What's great, though, is that at the point of sale, at the register, when you scan it, it still sees the same content, but it recognizes the format, and that format is what's very specific about that structure. And so the GS1 format tells the register, this is a barcode that you can use to check out. When you scan it with your phone sees the URL and treats it just like any other URL.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
always
fantastic.
wondered that, actually.
I'm just still excited by it.
Yeah.
I see it every day, but I still get excited.
And there's so many uses for both, whether it's scanning, because we all need to buy things, or as a consumer, all of that different kind of information. And I'm assuming you can also, once people encode the information, batch lot, expiry date, things like that.
Correct.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's really what's fantastic about it is it's taking a company's most valuable asset, which is their product, their packaging that's in market, and it's activating it so they can really reach out to their audience and create that relationship.
It's digitizing it.
It is.
And there's so many other services, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not the expert on this by any means, but there are other services that you can tie to it, like location services. If I scan a product in Florida versus scanning a product in Alaska, I might get a different interaction.
Is that true?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, so our platform, as an example,
lying.
scan the same QR code. If you speak English versus Spanish versus French, have a different result, have different language content by location. If you have, say, an activation that's valid in one state but not another, or the activations are different.
Now, this is where my IT friends pull their standards together, but they're services, right? It's not like you're not providing that. You are working with other location service providers and linking the services through like an ecosystem of a solution.
We actually do the redirection ourselves based on that. So we're looking for language and device type and what day of the week is it. Is it a July 4th sale? So it's July 5th, so I want to go someplace different. So the whole concept in marketing is surprise and delight. You don't want to surprise and disappoint.
Right.
So when they do scan that, if it's July 5th, you don't want to take them to something that's expired. You want to take them to the next best thing.
I love that. It's getting so much better.
I'm thinking about a convenience store. Back in my old life, we talked about day parts and morning drinks and middle of the day drinks and afternoon drinks. Can it get down that granularly to time of day?
Sure, absolutely.
This is so cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah, or open or closed. If it's Sunday and you scan something versus a Monday and you scan something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because even today, it's 2024, and you go to a website and you're searching for something, and then all of a sudden it's like all over every feed you have. All your social media feeds, it's the same thing. Then you go buy said product, maybe it was a big investment, right? Like maybe it was a motorcycle, hint, hint to the wife who's listening at home, a new one. And then you buy said motorcycle and you're still getting advertisements for said motorcycle. So I love that fact of understanding the day of the week, the day of the year. It really enriches the experience.
To me, what's really fascinating about the whole concept of the digital product passport, of those landing pages that you connect to the QR codes, is about privacy and data security. So when you're browsing randomly on a social media site and you search for something, now everybody's targeting you because they're listening to that social media site. But what this does, it allows you to create that relationship one-to-one between the audience and the consumer. So when you scan that code, that data, there's such a concern around first-party data that we can't share data anymore, that privacy of information, but this allows a brand to reach out and create that one-to-one relationship. So they're not getting your information from a third party, they're getting it from you directly. You choose what you share with the brand. And so creating that, let you allow yourself to choose how you're sharing your details with them or what you want to do and how you want to engage with them.
I see the wheels spinning.
I mean, I just see marketers and brand people and a product manufacturer getting in a room and you telling the story of what could be and their minds blowing with all of the different things that they can do. How do you advise them to start slow, figure out what your use cases are, and then build on that? Because I'm sure their ideas are this many.
To me, I equate it to a long time ago. It was all 800 numbers. Then it was websites. And now I look at this as a new opportunity. It's very similar where you have this new burst of content. And so the question is, well, what do we do? What's the first thing they want to do? And how do you evolve that? And so as you've heard many times at the conference, the crawl, walk, run, it's how do we start out small and simple? But brands are looking for ways to build upon that. They don't want to go back and redo anything, but they want to have something that they can build on and keep evolving to that. So it's really a matter of the evolution, not the revolution.
Yeah, it's so cool. So you bring up Connect. Is this your first GS1 Connect? Have you been before?
First time.
What do you think?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah?
Yes, the content, the people, the organization itself has been absolutely fantastic. So great people, great communication, great conversation. It's fun to be around 1,000 people who think QR codes are cool.
Right?
Yes.
I try to get people
These are
to
my
agree
people.
with that, but
These are
you're
my
right.
people.
These are the people.
These are my people.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So we're also celebrating the 50th anniversary of the UPC barcode, right? Which is serviced a long time and has done a lot for industries, whether it be healthcare or food service and grocery and apparel, general merchandise. But the QR code and other 2D barcodes really enable for a lot more data to be impacted. Do you think they'll have the same run, 50 years?
I really do. I think that the 1D barcode has earned its retirement. It's worked hard. It's done a great job. I don't think it's going to go out overnight.
Yeah,
I think it'll take a potentially a generation to
We're
truly
still driving
phase out.
classic cars.
Exactly, and they're still cool. They have their use, but really when you dig into it, the QR code can do so much more. And I really feel like as the standard, because nothing moves overnight, so it's going to take time to adopt, time to implement, but also gives it a long run because there's investments that are happening, significant investments to make this happen. And brands are taking us very seriously. And I'm excited by that because I see the potential and so do they. And so to me, the impact is going to be monumental.
Yeah, and I think one thing we haven't talked about, just to kind of throw it in here real quick, is what you're talking about with the QR interaction with brands and QR codes and smartphones. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
There was a lot of proprietary, coding going into it, and that required more real estate on packaging. So we're trying to move out with the UPC and move in with the QR code and put it in, and leveraging an open standard like Digital Link from GS1. Are you seeing that as helping to advance the adoption?
Yeah, I see brands are getting very creative with how they're choosing to implement it. There's a lot of thought going into it. I'm hearing the same conversations across multiple brands. So what's great about that is that there's consistency. People are thinking alike in that regard, but there's also innovation, and people are sharing that innovation because they see the excitement around it. So they're not trying to keep it to themselves. They want to share it because they know that the faster we all adopt this, the faster everybody wins.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
It's been an amazing conversation. My mind is kind of spinning right now, and I may come visit your booth in the next day so that I can pick your brains more.
Excellent. Please do. Happy to answer questions anytime.
Thank you so much.
Andy, thank you so much.
Thank you.